Everyone. So you want to achieve a goal, you want to get somewhere, or you want to create something or write a book, whatever it is. You want to do it. You feel, inspired to do it. But once you get there and you start doing it, or maybe a few minutes even before, you start feeling dread. You start feeling a lot of maybe anxiety even coming up. And so, you are in this place where you want to do it, but every time you go there, there is this dread and you're tired of it. And maybe even that dread makes it so that you don't accomplish what you want to accomplish. So if this is what you're going through and you're tired of it, in this video, I'll explain why this is happening, what's the choice that you are asked to make in that moment, and then you'll know what to do. Okay, so if you're going towards something and dread comes up, you have two choices in that moment. One is that you force yourself into doing it, and so you bulldoze the part of you that is in dread. And most of the time you'll be doing that because you don't trust yourself, you don't trust life, you don't trust the present moment, and you're like, I have to have it figured out. I need to do this because if I don't do it, nothing will ever happen. And so there's this fear, there's this distrust of yourself, of life, of everything in general. And so you need to bulldoze it, you need to force yourself into getting there. And you can do that. If you do this, what will happen during the day is that in that moment, you are the one who wants to do that certain thing, wants to get to that certain aim. And there is another part of you, the one that dreads, the one that is in dread, that you're being completely disconnected from. So you've separated yourself from that part. And so in order to get there, you have to do more work. You have to put more effort. You have to get more energy into it to get there, right? And so what will happen is that's what you're conscious of in that moment. And so you do your thing, you get to your aim, and that's great, right? During the day, you may find yourself, actually it's automatic, that you will go from this part to the one that felt the dread and the one that wasn't listened to. So throughout the day, what you'll be feeling is, oh my God, there is this large entity over there, and it's bulldozing me into doing things. I can't trust life. You will feel as if at at every moment you're rushed into doing something. That time is against you, life is against you, and you're always rushing to get there. And you'll be feeling very powerless, and that you have no say in the matter. Because what is happening is that this part took over, right? So that's why you'll be feeling this. Because now you've separated yourself from the two. It's either I am the one going forward and I have to, drag every part of me, everyone with me to get there. And then I'll go to the other part and I won't even know it because it's unconscious, because these two parts haven't integrated, haven't come together. And then I become the victim, the one that is dragged, the one that feels that everything out there is against her, right? Or him. That you'll be feeling that you're the one that is just the small thing, and there's this huge entity out there that doesn't give a damn about you. Do you see what is happening in that moment? Because these are two parts of you. And this is a choice. When you make that choice, that you drag yourself, that you bulldoze parts of you, that's what is going to happen. And so then the next day, the same thing will happen. You'll find yourself trying to do something, and there is this thing that you need to drag into it, right? And the distrust increases more and more, because now you have, from this point, you have proof that you can't trust. From this point, you have truth, that you can't, you have proof that you can't trust also. And here is fear, but here it's more active, and here it will be more passive, right? So as you can see, it's like if you start seeing it from this perspective, these two parts actually have things in common, and you can put them together, start making them work together, and then you'll get to what you want. And what is it that you want in that moment? You want to have, when you go towards that aim, you want to have every part of you on board, right? You want to be able to trust yourself. You want to be able to trust life. And you know that thanks to this experience here. So this experience is very important. I don't want you to just, bulldoze it, say, oh, this is bad and I'm going here. No, it's this experience that leads you to this one. It leads you to your preference. And so it leads you to your preference. And what is it that, based on the experience that you've had here, you will see that what is making it so difficult and riddled with obstacles, and why the dread goes up and the distrust and everything. It's because these two parts aren't talking together, right? There's a separation between them. And so here, the choice would be, okay, let me start trusting, because this experience is showing me that this is not what I want. And so what do you do in that moment? In the moment where you're going towards your aim, you can, in that moment, see that there's a part of you that wants to go towards, and there is a part of you that feels dread. And in that moment, you go into your body and feel into it, right? And I want you to feel into it and see if it's not that you're bulldozing, you're taking both in, right? And even now, when I'm talking, you can actually do it. You can feel into it while I am talking. So it's not only, information here that comes, rational information, but it becomes more of a wisdom, a knowledge that you gain through your own experience. So you feel into that, and you start seeing, where is it that you're feeling dread in your body? And before doing that, make yourself comfortable in a situation where you feel safe, so you can, relax into it. Take a few deep breaths in. You ground yourself there, and you start seeing what is actually happening in your body. And you may start seeing that, there is a part of you that is rushing. It's like a rush, and you can feel it at the back or whatever. Just try to find it and locate it in your body. And then the one that is in dread. And where is the dread? Maybe the dread is here. Maybe it's somewhere else. And as you feel into that, as you are, what you're doing is, in that moment, you are actually connecting to both parts. And you're feeling what is happening to them. And as you're connecting there, they start relaxing, because there is the highest, it's like the parent that comes in and takes in two kids, right? And now, because these little children know that the parent is there and there's a structure there, they can relax, and then they can start, talking with each other, connecting, and seeing how they can find a solution to this problem. And so as you do that, one thing that you can do is that you can start just letting the words out, because those parts are talking to you. They're talking to each other, right? And so maybe at the beginning, there's going to be a lot of anger, maybe. Why not? This is never going to happen. This is not fair. They're always against me, whatever. I'm all alone here. I have to do everything on my own. This is not right. This is not fair. I am so tired, and so on and so forth. And so there's that. There's fear, that there's confusion, sadness, heartbreak, that a part of you feels so lonely, right? In all of this. And it has to drag things, it has to drag even itself, and it can't trust anything. And so you start writing it down, or even, recording it, whatever is better. You can just talk about it. If there's a person next to you, that would be great, because you can just, what we say, vent, right? But it's not only venting, it's also listening to what is happening, because there are truths that are coming up. And so as you do that, what you're doing in that moment is that you are starting to trust life and yourself. You're learning, right? It's just one step at a time. And how you're doing that is by listening to the moment. If there is dread, then I'm with you, right? You have the right to be there because you are there. If there is the need to rush, I'm also with you because you have the right to be there. Why? How do I know that? You are there, right? And so you let things continue and unfold. And as you do that, you'll start seeing that these parts start talking to each other and start communing with each other, and that separation slowly goes away. It may take a little bit of time, because there may be distrust, but sometimes even once is enough. But it's really you taking it one step at a time. And remember that each time you do that, each time this happens again, there's wisdom that you're going to gain. There's power that you're going to gain. There's more knowledge about yourself, about the universe that you're going to gain. There is more trust experientially, not because somebody said it, but experientially, you'll start trusting life more. You'll start trusting yourself more. And you'll start knowing who you are, what your power is, right? What you're good at, etc., etc. And so as you do this, there is a union that happens, a connection that happens. And you will see that what was misaligned because there was that separation start slowly in your outer world aligning, right? And that war, internal war, will not be anymore, because there's no separation. There's nothing to war against. There's no one to war against, right? And you'll start feeling more trust. You'll start realizing that even if dread comes, and even if it feels like an obstacle, it's not an obstacle, it's a stepping stone towards something even better, right? And you start seeing that, and the level of trust that builds in that moment, in that momentum, is going to be incredible. It's really going to be incredible. Like, for example, I'll give you an example here, a very concrete one. Before making this, 5 minutes before making this video, I felt dread. I really felt dread, and I was like, oh my God, okay, I don't want to go through this. And then I was like, oh, I can trust it. And I just went into it, I felt into it, and I created this video. And that's going to happen to you. So if you have any questions, any comments, let me know down below. Let me know if you have any problems, you know, with procrastinating and you know, feeling that dread and not being able to get to your aim because of all the resistance that comes up. Then you can always come to me and book a session. There is a link down below. Choo choo.